Hey everybody, this is Andre here with the Kevin Breeze channel, and in this video, we're going to be doing a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G and the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G. Let's get started. So the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G has a 6.4-inch 90Hz Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 1080p, a PPI of 411, an aspect ratio of 20:9, and a screen-to-body ratio of 84.6%. We got a water drop notch here for the front-facing camera, and this camera is 20 megapixels. The Samsung Galaxy A32 5G has a 6.5-inch TFT display with a resolution of 720p, a PPI of 270, an aspect ratio of 20:9, and a screen-to-body ratio of 81.6%. We got a water drop notch here as well on the front-facing camera, and this camera is 13 megapixels. So the size difference is gonna be there, but it's really not that big. 1/10 of an inch is really not too noticeable, but you can kind of see it if you look really closely. Other than that, the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G definitely has a much better quality display. With the Super AMOLED display, it does look a lot nicer than the TFT display, as well as being a 90Hz display. When you're scrolling through the screen, everything on the screen moves a lot smoother, which is really nice. That's the beauty of a 90Hz display. With that, pretty much everything about the display is better on the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G. The colors are so much brighter, and the screen in general just looks really high-end, as opposed to the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G. With that 720p display instead of 1080p, it really does make a difference. It doesn't look bad on the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G, but it's not really that impressive either. It really looks like a basic budget phone, and not being a 90Hz display, you can see the movement on the screen isn't quite as smooth, whereas with the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G, it really does move really nicely. And one more point about the design of these two phones, the bezels on the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G are noticeably thinner, which makes the phone just look nicer overall. Just another contributing factor that makes the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G look so good. Now, both of these phones have 128 gigabytes of internal storage with microSD card expansion, so no real difference there, but at any level, 128 gigabytes of internal storage is really impressive. For me, I consider 64 to be a minimum, and both these phones have double that. Not to mention the microSD card expansion in case you have a lot of photos and videos and that sort of stuff that you want to add onto the phone. If you're doing a lot of activities that take up a lot of space, if you have lots of apps, maybe you do gaming or something like that, or really any other sorts of media, this is really going to come in handy. Now, neither of these phones have wireless charging, unfortunately, but both of them have a fingerprint scanner and face unlock. For the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G, the fingerprint scanner is located on the display itself right here. And on the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G, the fingerprint scanner is actually right here on the power button. Now, both of them are really good, but I would say the power button one is a little bit more convenient. But on the other hand, the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G with the in-display fingerprint scanner is gonna look a little bit better. So it's really up to personal preference. Functionally, it doesn't really make a huge difference, but if you want something that's faster and more convenient, then the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G with that fingerprint scanner right on the power button is probably going to be better for you, whereas the fingerprint scanner on the A32 4G is in the display, so it looks a lot better, it looks more modern and advanced. So it really is up to personal preference. We're going to test these out real quick to see how they actually work. So starting with the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G. All right, there we go. One more time. So one thing to note about the fingerprint scanner of the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G, you do actually have to push down on it a little bit to get it to unlock. You can't just lay your finger on it. Sometimes it does work, but you do need to apply just a little bit of pressure. But other than that, it was really fast and responsive. I have no complaints. So now we're going to test out the fingerprint scanner for the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G. Let's go. One more time. And that one was definitely a little bit faster, partially because of the location and partially just because it's a little bit more sensitive. You don't need to actually put pressure on this one. So really, you can just press your power button with whatever finger you use to unlock it, and it'll immediately unlock. So in terms of functionality and convenience and practicality and pretty much everything, the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G is going to have that advantage. Now, if you use Face Unlock, it's not really going to make a difference, but just be aware that the fingerprint scanner on the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G is a little bit better in my opinion. Now, taking a look at these camera setups we have on the back, the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G has a 64 megapixel rear camera, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera, a 5 megapixel depth sensing camera, and a 5 megapixel macro camera. The Samsung Galaxy A32 5G has a 48 megapixel rear camera, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera, a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera, and a 5 megapixel macro camera. So let's take a look at a few pictures on these phones and actually go over which one is better. They do have pretty much the same features as far as different camera modes go. So these pictures were taken by the rear cameras of each phone. I was actually a little disappointed in the quality of the pictures taken by the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G. The quality really isn't that sharp or vivid compared to what I thought it was going to be. With the display of the phone and everything else really, I was expecting it to be better quality than the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G from what I've seen. But the picture taken by the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G does appear to be quite a bit better. I think it's a lot sharper. The colors are pretty much the same, but I would actually say that if you look really closely, the colors on the picture taken by the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G are actually a little bit better, and that's saying a lot because as far as the displays go, the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G has a much better display than the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G. So with that difference in display quality, if I can still see clearly that the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G takes a better picture with its rear camera, then there's definitely a significant difference in the quality of these pictures. I was hoping that the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G would have a much better quality. And really compared to other phones, it's really not that bad. But at the same time, with the slight haze and the picture not being really that sharp, I do think the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G takes better pictures in general. Now these are pictures taken by the ultra-wide cameras, pretty much the same type of difference. The details in the picture taken by the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G are a little bit better than that of the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G. They're basically the same width. Neither one is really wider than the other. They're really similar, except quality-wise, I still do think the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G is a little bit better. These pictures were taken by the macro cameras. These look almost completely the same. I would say though that the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G does a little bit better job on this one. The camera is a little bit better. The details are a little bit better on this picture. Whereas with the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G, there's a highlight that kind of gets in the way. And I actually had to go out of my way to avoid this, but it still shows up in the picture. So the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G did do a little bit better as far as the macro camera goes. Now these pictures were taken by the front-facing cameras of each phone. In this one, I definitely would say the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G does have a better camera. There's definitely some sort of haze on the picture taken by the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G that just kind of dulls it, both the image details itself and the colors, whereas with the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G, it's a lot sharper and just looks better in general. Now, as far as video mode goes, the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G does have an advantage again. In the rear camera, this phone can shoot videos in quality up to 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080p in the front, whereas the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G can only shoot 1080p in both cameras. So overall, in pretty much every camera feature on these phones, the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G is going to have the advantage here. I was surprised just given the quality of the display, and with that in mind, I really don't know why Samsung didn't just give the same display and design to the A32 5G as they did with the A32 4G, because it doesn't really make sense for the 5G 5G version of the same phone to have a significantly lower quality display and a clunkier looking design, it really doesn't make any sense to me. But they did do it that way, so be aware that if you prefer to have the nicest display out of the two and you're not going to really be taking pictures that much, the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G is probably going to be fine for you. But if you do really care about taking high quality pictures, the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G might be better. Now internally, the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G is getting 4GB of RAM with the MediaTek Helio G80 processor, and the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G is getting 6GB of RAM with the MediaTek Dimensity 725G processor. We ran Geekbench 5 benchmark tests on both of these phones, and the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G came back with a single-core score of 347 and a multi-core score of 1308. Not really bad, but also not that great. The Samsung Galaxy A32 5G came back with a single-core score of 472 and a multi-core score of 1520. So the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G does have a noticeably faster processor, but at the same time, the difference isn't really crazy. I really don't think there's going to be any specific things that the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G can't do that the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G can do, but there is going to be a difference there. So just to give you guys an idea of what this difference in processing power looks like, I'm going to do a quick demonstration. We're going to start by opening Google Chrome. So as you can see there, the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G did pull it up a little bit faster. Now we're going to check out a web page and see if that difference is consistent. And that was pretty consistent. As you can see, the Samsung Galaxy A32 is a little bit faster. Not a whole lot faster, but you can tell. Now these phones do have the same battery, both of them with a 5000 milliamp hour battery that supports 15 watt fast charging. And both of them do have Android 11, which is great because this is 2021 and we are on Android 11 this time. And in addition to this, both of these phones have NFC, which I think is really great. In the past, a lot of these more mid-level phones haven't had NFC, so it's nice to see that these ones do, especially since the technology for Google Pay and all those other payment systems are getting a lot more popular. Now, in conclusion, which one of these phones is better? Now, these phones are really similar. In which one you would want to choose really depends on your needs. There's really one main area the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G is better, in a few areas that the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G is going to be better. So if you're looking for a really high quality display, if you do something like gaming or lots of content consumption or even reading, the 90Hz Super AMOLED display of the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G is really going to be the best option for you, because when it comes to displays, the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G really can't compete. The colors on the Super AMOLED display are so much brighter, and having a 90Hz display means when you're doing something like playing a game, you have graphics, things moving on the screen, it looks a lot better, as you can see here, as opposed to this where it's a little bit slower. It just doesn't look nearly as nice as that 90Hz display. And then of course, in general, I do personally think the overall look of the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G looks a lot nicer, sleeker. The thinner bezels really add to this look. But on the other hand, if taking really high quality pictures is important to you and you want that extra processing power, say you're doing something like video editing where you really do need some extra processing power, or if you're browsing the web a lot, going on sites where you have a lot of things that need to load, and of course, the obvious one, if you want your phone to be capable of using 5G, then of course, the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G is going to be the one for you. But both of these are really great phones. I am really impressed with the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G. I was not expecting such nice features and quality out of this phone. And of course, the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G, being a 5G phone with a much faster processor and a great camera, is a really good choice as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want more information on the pricing and availability of the phones or just general info on the devices themselves, be sure to check the link in the description and watch the full reviews of the phones on the channel. But that's it for today, guys. I will see you in the next video.